Road Trip with Kelly Taylor and Michael Clark.
Michael Clark here for the Road Trip, and if you've been thinking about getting into the business of trucking, then you need to know about some of the latest innovations for training. And I'm joined now by Jim Campbell from First Class Training Center. Jim, thanks for joining us on the Road Trip.
Well, thank you for having me.
Now, Jim, we understand that you have an awful lot of experience when it comes to driving truck, but you wanted to do something a little bit more innovative when it came to the types of training that are available if you want to get your Class 1 license.
That's right, John. I've been driving for 33 years in the industry, and that goes from off-road to long haul, short haul, P&D in the city. And eventually got into the driver training portion of it, and really started enjoying it, and really have the passion to do the driver training.
Now, the other thing that's innovative about the training that you're doing here is something that we see on a lot of cars in respect to full camera views, and you've been able to figure out a way to do that on a truck. And it also helps in respect to showing the students what exactly they're doing right and what needs improvement.
That's right, Michael. What Jeff and I came up with is we have 4 cameras. They're placed under each mirror. There's a camera facing forward and reverse under each mirror. And inside the cab, what we have is a 24-inch monitor. And we do 2-on-1 training, so the person that's doing the observation in the back could watch the monitor and see how that trailer's making the off track around the corners and through the back and exercises. Also, what we use that for is for driver evaluations for other companies that may want to do driver evaluations, company evaluations, is they can send them to us. We could do the report on how their driving habits are and some recommendations. And then also we could record his driving session, and we could zap that over to the company, and then they could see how his driving habits are right at their own desk.
So in your experience from previous training programs that you've been involved in, would you say that this is the cutting edge for first-class training at this point?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, as far as I know, we're the first ones to do this type of training. It's so helpful for the students that are in our classes that, we record every day on our cameras, and then we download that, put it into the classroom, and then they could get a full look on how that trailer's been backed into the cones, and you really point out your mistakes at that point.
I'm joined now by Kevin Thiessen, who's a second-week student in the 6-week program, approximately 244 hours of classroom as well as driver training. Kevin, I want to thank you for joining us on the Road Trip.
Thank you, Mike.
Now, Kevin, let's get a feel for exactly what you're able to do in the second week of training. We've actually already been able to see you do some backing up procedures in between the pylons, and I have to say that you nailed it right on.
Well, thanks, Mike. The first week of actual driving, we did a lot of backing up and different procedures and stuff like that. And like I said, the instructors here are very helpful, and with their experience, played a big part.
Do you find that this innovative camera system is making the difference and giving you that extra boost of confidence?
Absolutely, because when you can see what you've done after the fact, it's easier to point out mistakes or, point out things that you did well. And, just by backtracking your steps and seeing what you've done, it gives you a little bit extra confidence too, because you can physically see how the process went.
Now, someone was thinking about getting into a trucking career. What's some of the things that you would want them to know in respect to how difficult it is and how quickly that confidence arrives?
Well, I think first and foremost, you have to want to do this. This is not something that you take lightly. This is something that you have to be serious about, and you have to have the desire to do it. It's hard work, and it's something that you have to take very seriously.
Well, Kevin, you make it look awful easy today, and I know you guys are ribbing me to come back and do some training of my own, and I definitely will be joining you at a later date.
That's awesome, Mike. I hope you do.
Be sure to catch The Road Trip on 680 CJOB and Shaw TV. For more information, visit our webpage at theroadtriponline.ca.